In Afghanistan, people know all that glitters is not gold.
Do you think the outside world realizes the quality of stones that are in Afghanistan?
Masood Soltani proudly shows off sapphires, rubies, but more than anything, he says, Afghanistan is home to a rich treasure trove of emeralds.
These stones are sold in high prices at international markets. But unfortunately, here in Afghanistan, they are sold for very low prices.
Legally, gems and semi-precious stones are sold here, along Kabul's Chicken Street. A small mountain of blue stone called lapis rests in the bowels of a shop. It's waiting to be polished, then will wait even longer for a buyer to come along. There's not much business in a war zone. So Soltani says much mining is illegal, and most gems are smuggled out of Afghanistan with the government fully aware of the problem.
If the Afghan government would invest in the gemstone industry, I'm sure they would benefit, something like $300 or $400 million over the course of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. It may be an overstatement. So, to back up his point, Soltani offered to take us to the heart of the emerald mines in the mountains of the Panjshir Valley. If this nation is going to be able to lift itself out of generations of poverty, it has to find a way to generate income. And one way is by all the natural resources that remain untapped because of the decades of insecurity here in this rugged landscape. It's just absolutely awe-inspiring as we make our way up. It would take us hours to walk, but we're not walking. We have horses to take us up to the top of the mountain. We pass dozens of mines, and the young and old pouring through rubble for a hidden gem. The mines are simply holes punched in the mountain by the Mujahideen fighters over the years. The Taliban has never made it into this region, but warlords have, controlling illegal mining and smuggling.
I can tell you the government only has control of about 2 or 3% of the mines here. That is it. 95% of them operate illegally.
After several hours, we reach the base camp of Soltani's mine, which he says is legal, passed down through his family over generations. And inside, it's about what you'd expect. It operates about as safely as anything in Afghanistan. A few holes are drilled. In go the explosives. Then you literally run for it.
So we're going to be in here when it blows up?
Yeah.
This is exactly why the government makes it nearly impossible to legally export emeralds. They are fragile, much more fragile than a diamond, and are easily destroyed.
This is the challenge we face in the Panjshir, extracting emeralds. We use explosives to reach the gems, and that ends up damaging the stones, lowering the quality.
The Afghan government wants to halt this type of mining until there is peace in the country. It wants to preserve the limited amount of emeralds and other gems until modern, proper mining equipment can be used here.
So it's been about 10 minutes since the explosion, and the acrid smell from the blast is still wafting through the mine. The good news is, in this hole, there's some positive signs that there could be emeralds or other precious stones. So the first job is to get all this rubble out of the mine.
He brought us here because he wants to show off the region's potential.
My real target is that any person, any business association, or any country that is passionate and will help us reach international markets. If we modernize the method and used improved machinery, the emerald extraction process would increase 90%.
And he's convinced on this day we will find gems and orders one more blast. This time we decide to wait outside the mine. At nearly 4,000 meters, it's the first really warm day of the season, which is melting the snow. Suddenly, triggered by the powerful blast, an unmistakable sound. We only captured the end, but the locals say we're lucky to be alive.
Okay, this was, took an awful turn for the worse. We just went through an avalanche. If you can look, hand, pants torn up. Snow just came barreling down. This used to be a walkway. I went down that hill Back up now. But shaken.
You guys are okay?
I could have gone all day without that. But it shows the dangers and what people have to go through to work up here.
Guys, they saying it's not safe to stay in here. Let's go in.
No, we're going home.
We limp down the mountain.
Andrew, after you.
But mining goes on the way it always has, with no chance of ending the cycle of danger and yielding only slim rewards. Sean Callebs, CGTN, in the Panjshir Valley of Afghanistan.